Welcome to the Theoretically Doctors podcast. We're a group of current and our prospective PhD students documenting our journey on a weekly basis. The aim of this podcast is to be a platform to support students in the educational system of various backgrounds. This includes, but is not limited to, first generation, low income, traditional, and or non-traditional students that may or may not be a minority group. I'd like to emphasize what is said on this podcast are the personal opinions of the speakers and are separate from any affiliation. Myself and those on this podcast are not communicating on behalf of any university or their employer. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. This podcast should not be considered professional advice unless specifically stated otherwise. This podcast does not endorse, approve, recommend, or certify any information, product, process, service, or organization presented or mentioned. Information from this podcast should not be referenced in any way to imply such approval or endorsement. With legal out of the way, let's begin. All right, so we're live, and I'm going to openly admit this is going to go on my YouTube channel, my personal one for now, just because I've been neglecting it and I need content because YouTube is rough while being in school and working. So we're going to get through introductions first, and then we'll just start shit talking. So Thomas, this is going to get weird because it's like, Anastasia, if you know already, like if anytime we're ever on like student panels and stuff, this is the same format. So here we go.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
like I don't want to do a student panel. I just want to talk shit.
Well, I mean, it's the first episode, so we'll just get it out of the way. So, all right. So if anyone has questions, they'll be like, all right, just go watch the first episode. Who the hell we are. All right. So Thomas, biochemical engineer at UC Davis, industry sellout.
Industry sellout. Oh my God.
That's who I am.
You're like, I don't want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I want to go get a PhD because I'm crazy as shit.
Actually, I want to get a PhD
is
for
it my
fun.
turn to
Correct.
Oh, yeah, we should probably discuss like why we want a PhD, and that's exactly my reason, for fun. Because doesn't working 20 hours a day for 7 days a week and getting 4 hours of sleep sound fun? Like just
it's
constantly
so
working. It's great. Yeah, so fun.
No life, no friends. Mental health is trash. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Do you want me to go?
Go for it.
Okay. So I don't know who's listening or who may hear this, but hello, good morning. My name is Anastasia, and this is way too much like a group panel thing. Anyhow, I am a brand new PhD student at, can I tell them where I'm at?
Yeah, you're public information.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
At UC Santa Cruz in the Latin American and Latino Studies Department. And I graduated from UC Davis in December last year. And these are my peeps here. We should have fun together.
We should probably disclose that we're like in McNair. I feel like that'd be helpful.
Yeah, that's how we met.
I got you.
Thanks, Jessica.
Jessica's here. So in case you were wondering how all of us met each other from such different backgrounds, we were all in the same undergrad research program that was essentially made for first generation low income and or minority students who want to get a PhD. So that's how you got all us weirdos in the same spot, interacting and talking shit. So yes, I am Jessica, also recent UC Davis graduate. I will live forever having my diploma say that I graduated on 9/11. I can still not get over that. Fun facts about me. But yeah, I was a biopsychology major in undergrad and a minor in aging and adult development, and meandered my way to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to get a PhD in cognitive psychology. And then everyone's like, what does that mean? And I just tell them I do learning and memory research. And then they're like, that's cool.
Wait, we have research interests?
Do we? Should we share them, or is it necessary?
Oh, we should absolutely, just because this is the first episode.
I mean, I'll rant about mine. Oh, I can just like be like,
oh, absolutely.
We can do this forever.
Yeah,
okay, a whole fucking episode.
Yeah, this is infinite content. This is great.
I like aging and memory. I like metacognition. I like cognitive neuroscience. I like motivation and memory. I like emotional memories. And I like memory and applied real world contexts, not just remember this random list and then say it to me. I like applied memory and how it can be applicable in the everyday world.
Mhm.
See, this is great because I don't know any of that. I just do it. So the fact that you're researching that, great. Give us some study hacks, Jessica.
Some study hacks. Oh, I love this. We talked about this in my intro psych class, like about how you can basically be a better studier and a better learner. Sleep is important. Don't let anyone tell you sleep is not important. That's where your main memory consolidation happens. Spaced learning is better than mass learning unless you're cramming for a midterm the night before, then you will see immediate effects. But if you have that cumulative final coming for your ass in a few weeks, not going to be
You're
good. Can I
fucked.
swear on this podcast because it's already happening? Just put a little bleep in there if I'm not allowed.
Nah, fuck it. It's all good.
What else is important? Fuel your body well, stay hydrated, don't eat a bunch of crap. Maintaining just general habits is good, like having a schedule and set time. And if you really need a break, take one. Try to not take a break on your phone because that doesn't really help you. Try to take a break outside, take a power nap. I love power naps. They're the best. And this is the road to success, everyone.
It sounds so easy.
It does, doesn't it? Yes, and space learning, I would say, is like the most important thing. You can call it, blocked practice. There's a bazillion names for the exact same thing.
What does it mean?
Essentially, it's just like not cram studying. So like,
Okay.
let's say you're studying for an exam, like try to study like an hour every day for it versus like 5 hours the day before.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that the same as active learning?
Huh?
Is that the same as active learning, or is that like
I mean, it is active learning per se, but I feel like active learning is more broad.
Okay.
And then also, I've been reading a bazillion fucking meta-analyses on like the testing effect, because that's like the hot thing now, that like having intermittent tests is like better than having one mass test at the end. And there's a whole lot of debate about if like feedback is helpful, if the structure of the practice like tests should be the same as the final exam, high stakes versus low stakes testing, and a bazillion other things, which I think is important because in my first life, I'm a cognitive PhD student. In my second life, I would be a genetic counselor. And in my third life, I would reform the education system.
Yeah, because it's interesting because that actually has the real world implications and application that you like, thinking about how we learn.
Yeah, so that's about kind of what my first year project is about, which I can talk about later in another time because I still have so much work to do on it. And I'm having all the directed research assistants, which is like the fancy name for the undergrads in the lab, help me do a lot of things that I don't have time to do.
So I don't have to TA yet. I'm grateful for that. That's coming up next quarter, and there is zero, well, up till now, there's been zero training for how to TA. We have in our department for grad students a thing called the colloquium, and we meet as a department every Wednesday from 9 to 11 and just go over department stuff. One of the things that they're doing in there is TA training to a certain degree. But I'm not exactly sure how useful it's going to be because I've talked to the other TAs and you just get thrown in it.
You do.
You just go do it. That's terrifying as shit to me because I need more structure than that.
I think you just need to accept that you're going to start off doing it badly and you will just get better. You can get like the most improved award.
That's
I mean,
very
I'm the
true.
generation of participation trophies, so like good for you.
I'm sure this is going to differ from like institution to institution, but when I was speaking with my PI, he made a very good point when I was trying to ask him, like, now that I have a bit of industry experience, like how much does it really matter in academia? And he made it very clear to this exact point that the fact that you're trained at a professional level and like you're actually getting trained for an extended period of time, which may or may not have been 2 days in academia, let alone like any training. It's really the selling point in getting some industry experience.
Wow.
So I feel you on that with like the lack of structure in academia, just kind of getting thrown into it.
Oh,
One
so
analogy
crazy.
I had like in one class I took was basically being thrown out to the wolves in a blizzard and you're naked.
And it's what it feels like.
That's like a lot of being in the blizzard is bad enough. Like that just kept going.
Yeah, we went to some places.
I mean,
So last week I met with one of my professors. His name is, can I use names from the departments or am I not supposed to?
I mean, you're at
It's-
Santa Cruz, so
Yeah, that's a good question. It's all public information.
I met with a
but-
professor
Mhm.
and I had
Nice.
to meet with him about just a project for the end of the quarter. And he went off the goddamn deep end. I swear to God, he started talking about my dissertation.
Oh, we're freezing.
And the research I'm going to do at the end of the quarter project, like what research I'm going to work on. And I'm like, I told him, I said, I'm not even worried about that right now. I'm just trying to get through the quarter. And he's like, well, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the other one. And I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. Like it's too much. Like, I don't even know where bathrooms are on campus still. And you want me to worry about my dissertation project right now? I'm heated because it was like, are you not thinking about like the emotional and psychological impact of this conversation?
What week are we in right now? Anastasia, your quarter. Jessica, your semester. I'm a prospective PhD student.
I just finished my 7th week. I'm going into my 8th week, so I'm halfway through my first semester.
Is it easier? You know what Davis is like. Is it easier?
In terms of timeline, it is significantly easier to be on a semester system compared to a quarter system. And I'm honestly still getting used to it. It still feels very odd to not be assaulted aggressively by the quarter system.
Yeah.
So I feel I'm like wary of the semester system still, being like, why do I feel like I'm not like, I don't feel like I'm being fucked in the ass yet? Like, why not? Like that's been my first half of the semester. These poor people on this podcast.
Well, they signed up to be here, so
They did.
Without
but
KY2I,
it's different. And like in my experience with TAing with Pittsburgh, they try really hard to match you with classes that you would actually be like equipped to TA for. And they really take it easy on you your first semester and your first year. Like my TA appointment is just for an intro psych class, and it's like very low stakes. My professor is super nice and super understanding, and I definitely have not been committing 20 hours to it, which is like the projected. But even for like higher stakes TA classes, I still don't think it ever really gets above 15 hours. And that's like stretching it.
Wow, okay.
Like but that's my experience and what I've heard. But I know obviously it varies a lot across universities.
There's another.
What week are you in? What week are you in? Just so that we have a timeline to keep going.
Who, me?
Yeah. Are you?
What
You're
week
also
of the quarter
in
is it?
fourth
Oh,
week?
I don't even know. I think we're going into week 4.
Okay.
So that would be almost halfway through the quarter, right? We're at almost, because it's 10 weeks.
Absolutely. It feels that way though. I mean, the first week is like a half week, and then the last week's final, so that's always a shit show.
Well,
So definitely 8 weeks.
Grad school finals for me like aren't real. Like I don't have finals.
No, that's the thing here. I don't have it either. We don't have midterms. We don't have like stupid
Wow.
papers we have to do.
I
What
can't
we'll have
relate.
to do at the end is a really big project.
Yeah, my stats class, I have a big paper I have to do at the end, but I have like intermittent, like low stakes quizzes and homework assignments. My foundations and cognitive psych class, I have intermittent papers and like small discussion posts. And then I have like a really big paper I have to do at the end just because I'm cognitive focused and it's the cognitive like foundations class. And then my human memory class, I just have like a big paper that I'll do at the end, probably a lit review. So it's more like a big project at the end, but even then it's like paced out. Like it's not like, here's this like big exam that'll make or break you.
Right. Yeah. I do like that. Like that is much more pleasant to me as a student. And I really enjoy our block sessions together, having conversations with other students and learning from them.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much I would like that because I've been some other classes to develop our professionalism, to develop our ways of thinking. And I really, really do enjoy that. I didn't know that I was going to, but I like it a lot.
Yeah. One thing I'm still adjusting to too is just the fact that my classes are like small. I'm like, this is what grad school is like, to have like 15 people in a class.
Mm.
After even like a lot of my upper division classes were like still like 40 people or more. Like I didn't really have a lot of small like courses at all at Davis.
Less than 10. In my feminist class, we have like 6 people, and then in my Latin American studies, I think we have maybe 8. So they're small, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, likewise. For my upper division, when we did like senior design for engineering, it was about like 15 people.
Mhm.
So Jessica's definitely getting that community college vibe. Like not that
Which I
many
never
people, maybe 20
experienced. I'm
people.
getting it now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We should probably just tell people like
Oh yes, we can track record
It's
this.
backtrack real quick.
Backtrack to the beginning of time.
it's high stakes community college.
Woo! So I went directly from high school into a 4-year, let alone a quarter system school, let alone a UC school. So I got the full beautiful
A
experience
research institution.
at a research institution. And
They're not fucking around.
yeah,
I was not ready. Like
I was
I
not ready.
transferred. I wasn't ready for the level of reading. Oh my God.
I
You know
I
what's
said-
funny is that my undergrad reading was twice as much as it is now. I swear to God.
That makes no sense.
I'm not kidding. Like the level of reading I had to do. I had to read an entire book this week, don't get me wrong, and it took like 6 hours to get through it. But I spent more time reading in one undergrad class with Professor Grandia at Davis because she did not play around. Her reading list was like this long per week. It was insanity. When I say
love
this
not being
long, it was like
humanities. I love the STEM. I'm happy here.
You're like, not for me. I want to talk about mental health. How are you guys?
Hey,
you guys
Anastasia,
wanna
talk about where you came from in terms of
We got-
education.
Yeah, we got
In
time.
terms
Don't
of
worry,
what?
Anastasia.
Pave the way.
Oh,
that-
so
You came.
I
We-
moved
mental health, don't worry.
from, well, Jessica and I both moved. You haven't moved yet, Thomas, but you will. So this is you'll experience, I don't know, some of it. Anyhow, so I moved to Santa Cruz in early September, and I was feeling really good prior to that, but the move was really hard and emotional and traumatic. And I went to the doctor on campus this week and started crying because I'm like, I can't, I don't know what to do. I feel so isolated and alone, and I miss my family. And then I went to class later that day, and we watched a video. I had to facilitate the discussion with another cohort, and I picked this video. It was on the migrant caravan, which is the research I did when we were all in McNair. And it ended, and I almost started bawling like a 2-year-old in class. Like it was just really raw from just how I'm feeling. And I made an appointment with my therapist for next Thursday. My point is, like, the mental health toll just has, it's like it's slow and it goes downhill. And I don't think that you might not even know that you're feeling so shitty until you feel really shitty. It's hard. Like we laugh and we talk about all this shit, but it's mainly so that we don't lose our fucking minds. The whole transition is really, 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 really hard. So for all of you guys out there listening that are thinking about it, get therapy.
Yes.
That's one thing I also tell community college students, like transferring, because honestly, I'll start. I do want to circle back into like if we're transfer where we came from, and then kind of our journey to where we are now. And then we'll circle like
And
the mental health aspect of it. So
I don't,
that's
I think that there's a level of, like pressure. I don't know if you feel it yet, Jessica, or what your experience is, but I feel an insane amount of pressure all the time to learn how to TA. Latin American and Latino studies has a lot of it is Santa Cruz is a very active like activist research institution. So there's this call to be something and to actively engage in the community. And I don't know it very well yet, but that is also pressure to be better, to learn things, um, to just change, I guess, and to understand the world. And I like that, and I really want to do it, but I haven't even had time to figure out how to get around on campus, and I'm being asked to kind of give of myself in ways that I can't right now. It's really, really, really hard. Just a lot of pressure.
For me, I really feel like all of the pressure that I like, 90% of the pressure is pressure I'm putting on myself and not pressure other people are putting on me. So
that may be what I'm doing.
But I think you might be interpreting. Yeah, it might just be the way your brain is taking it in.
Yeah.
And like you're just feeling like that, and you're feeling like you should be involved more and including yourself more. Because I mean, other people are going to tell you to do that just because they want you to feel like you're fitting in, but that also might be coming from you too. I don't know.
Well, we met with the UAW, with the union organization, and that was part of our orientation. And then we have the LALS department as a whole is really active in union affairs. And they're really pushing forward the agenda. And I really admire what these people are doing. And would I like to participate? Yes. But can I do it now? No. But it's like there's a push. And then we have within the department, they want to have people that are working with the union and then they're called grad reps. And I'm like, I don't understand how first years could even be asked to do something like that. I can't do it. I mean, there might be other people who have the bandwidth to be able to handle it, but I can't. And we can move on.
Oh no, I mean, I just wanted to add, I think the answer is like, it's not like required, it's just pressure. You're gonna be there for an extended period of time, so it's whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, that's something you can control though.
That's
it's not like
true.
you can't control that. So yeah, I would just
That's
say
true.
like set your boundaries and just be like I want to support, just not right now.
I think that we should go a little further in the thinking about boundaries, because Lynette talked about this to us. Do you remember? In McNairn, she was talking about really having good boundaries, and that we needed to have that. We needed to learn that skill. I think that's a very, very true statement. Like what hold them and keep them. It's very true. Thank you.
Yeah, like you're 4 weeks in, like you don't know where the bathrooms are. Like priorities, take care of yourself first, get a good standing.
Yeah.
Like
I just finally found the bathrooms in the hall that I TA in. I was finally brave enough to go look for them.
nice.
Like these are the things that you're just like, it's the little things every week, man. Because before I would like walk like half a block to the library to like pee there because I was too afraid to try to find them in the hall that I was in. Like that's the level of mental strain.
Yes.
You're like, I can't even find the bathrooms here because that takes too much effort to just look for the stupid sign that says restrooms.
Like I've already got too many things to have to figure out. I don't need to learn more shit. I don't have them, but I was really proud of myself yesterday. I went to campus. It's the weekend, but we have, do you guys remember or getting keys for the offices on campus?
Mm-hmm.
That to me was like, holy shit. Like I'm an official person here. I have keys to the rooms here. That was a very odd experience for me. Anyhow, so I had to go print some shit, and I'm a poor ass bitch. So I'm like, I'll drive to campus and I can use the printer in the lab, the graduate student lab. Well, the key didn't work. And so I tried all of them. And not only that, but UC Santa Cruz is all hills. And I fucking hate it. And I had to park at the base of the hill, and it's literally up just like a mountain. I climb all the way up there. I'm sweating and irritated by the time I get to the top. And then the key doesn't work. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go around the building and see if it works on the other side. And I went, and it worked. I was so proud of myself. It was one of those moments of, you know how you could bang, you feel like you're banging your head against the wall and you feel really defeated. And you're like, no, I'm just going to give it one last shot. I'm going to go try it. And it works. And you're like, oh, the light comes through the clouds. And you're like, oh, it's one of
Welcome
those
to
moments.
programming.
Relatable.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
But it's that I almost gave up. It was that, like you were saying, you didn't want to go and look for the bathroom. You're just like, it's not even worth it right now.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't care. I'll walk to the library because I know where it's at. It's easier.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that would have been awkward. It would have been like, oh, I'm muted, but I'm glad I caught that. So I've had quite the educational experience growing up in Canada and then going to University of Toronto, like straight out of high school, and then coming to a community college and then coming back to a UC. So I'm a transfer, TLDR.
I didn't know that you grew up in Canada. Where'd you grow up, Thomas?
I grew up in Toronto. I almost said Oakland, thinking I said Ontario, but I grew up in Toronto, which is a city in the province of Ontario.
Is that on the the East Coast, West Coast?
Right above New York.
So it's fucking
East
cold there,
Coast.
bro.
Yeah. It definitely does get cold.
Oh my god.
Correct.
My son was at Fort Drum, which is just below the border, US Canada border.
Mm-hmm.
And like, no, I'm not even going to be shy. I don't know shit about the geography or the states of Canada. It's almost like Canada doesn't exist in my mind.
We have provinces. We have 7 provinces.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have states.
They're not states.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's me. Where'd you transfer from?
Me?
Yeah. People want to know. Let the people know.
I was living in Sacramento, and I went to American River College. I went there when my kids were a little bit younger, and I got an AA in like 2014. And then I went back in 2016 after my 2 oldest children graduated, and they graduated from high school, and then my oldest son went to the military, so I had a little bit more time, and I didn't know what the hell I wanted, or I wanted to say what the fuck I wanted to do with my life, so I'll just say it. So I was like, oh, I'll go back to school, and that's where it all really started. That's where I finished my transfer requirements, and then I only applied to Sac State and UC Davis because in my head I was like, I'm never going to get into either of them. So I never really believed that I had the wherewithal and the ability to transfer. So to be here and like have this conversation with you guys is like makes my head explode a little bit.
So now
I never saw this coming.
PhD student, PhD candidate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Theoretically doctors.
That's awesome.
So Thomas and I were talking before we started, or we went live. We was talking about the name, and we're theoretically doctors, meaning that in theory we could help you, but if you came to us, we're not MDs. So if you came to us and you needed help, our response would be, well, help actually is derived from the Latin word, blah, blah, blah. And that originated in like BC 2092 or something. Like this would be our help. Theoretically. Oh, should we talk about the other name, Thomas, that we wanted to give it, the unhinged?
Oh, yeah, that was like the original name, but then I was like, that's way too long. But then also me being in industry, I kind of have to be a little careful for now. Yeah.
You
I
should
guess
maybe
I'd
have
vote
a
that.
pseudonym and go by something different
Oh, what do you mean?
so that you could actually talk freely.
No, it's I gotta look into it
Use a
more.
fake name.
No, people will connect the dots. Like, it's very obvious once you like looked on LinkedIn and like other public information that people will connect the dots. It's like even this is gonna be on public info, right? But yeah, it's best
right.
to be safe because
Allegedly.
I would like to stay employed.
That's kind of important.
If you
Yeah.
see me looking to the side,
Do you guys
because
want to
Nala is in her bed staring into my soul.
Nala?
I
Oh,
like that
she's
she's
so
camouflaged.
cute. Yes. I wish they could see her. She could be our mascot.
My personal trainer told me that she's a teddy bear that blinks.
That's so cute. I love it. Do you have a personal trainer?
I do, because
How the fuck do you afford a personal trainer, Jessica?
I'm just broke in every other sense of the word.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You're like, it's
Because
priorities
I
of
was
where
like,
I want to spend
what
money.
are the things? Because the best thing you can do is invest in yourself.
I agree.
So I was like, I mean, I'm still seeing my therapist, like just less frequently. I mean, I had my last appointment on Friday, which I rescheduled from 2 weeks before because I wasn't ready to deal with my feelings. That's like the
Mhm.
real reason I rescheduled it. I was like, oh, something came up. And I was like, no, I actually just like can't cry for an hour and like deal with things right now. But anyway, so
It's true.
yeah, but I decided to get a personal trainer once a week because in April is when I like strained my lower back when I was at work. So I like
Yes.
not gonna name names, but my old job overworked people a lot and I ended up getting injured on the job due to that. So then I had to go through like 2 months of like light duty at my job and doing physical therapy. Thankfully, I'm fully recovered, everyone. But after that, like exercise in the gym is like my safe space of where I feel like I can like de-stress and like zone out and like have that time for myself. So ever since then, like for those like following couple months, I was like, I don't feel comfortable at the gym.
Mm.
And that was why. So I was like, this is like the main form of stress relief for me, and I'm not comfortable here. So I chose to get a personal trainer because, and it's only like once a week because even that's like ridiculously expensive. And I have it set for like 6 months. So it'll end in February. But I was like, I want to be able to just like target certain areas and feel stronger at the gym and just feel like I have a better like mindset with it because before I just wasn't happy and comfortable. And that's like, if anyone knows anything about me, like that I am a like gym rat. Like I am always at the gym. I'm always exercising. The fact that I wasn't happy at the gym, it was like, this needs to be better.
Yes.
But yeah, but anyway, yeah, since my therapist is licensed in California, she cannot keep seeing me for too much longer, but there is client privilege where I'm able to meet with her for a while I'm making my transition. So
I'm shaking my head. I forget that people can't hear our head shaking.
but yeah, so that sucks a lot because the amount of time that it takes to just like have the balls to go get a therapist and then take the time to find a therapist that like works for you and to take the time for your therapist to get to know you and understand the things you're working through and you don't feel like you have to explain it every time. The idea of having to have one less normal stable thing that's not like have that taken away from me just because I moved is incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I already live like 2,500 miles away from like everyone that I know.
Yes.
Like to like also not have my therapist soon is like terrible. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel
So
that
yes,
with
that's why I
myself.
have a personal trainer. And
I
by
get it.
yeah, so yeah, after the 6 months, I think I'll feel very like equipped. But yeah, I don't really have like fun money, and I'm used to like living on like dirt, so it's cool. It's cool, guys. But like
well,
for the cost of living of Pittsburgh, I really like sometimes I need to like recenter myself and like remember that like I get a lot of bang for my buck compared to other
Mhm.
places. Like I can have my own 1 bedroom apartment. Like I don't pay for transportation at all. I just ride the bus with my student ID. Like the grocery store is 5 minutes away, and I do have my cars, but I like and like gas is like $1 or more cheaper than in California.
Damn.
So there's things that make it better per se, but yeah.
Still, I think we miss our families, we miss our communities. And to be honest with you, I thought I wouldn't feel this way, because I thought I hated Sacramento, but what I hated about it, or what I feel about it, is it holds a lot of history for me. I moved there after I got divorced, and basically I grew up as a human in those spaces and places. And I didn't realize that what I didn't like was my history. But moving away from it, I miss it so much. I miss riding my bike and going down by the river and seeing my friends that I lived with, and talking to you, and going to school and having our conversations. I didn't realize that that was so special to me, and I did not expect to feel that loss the way that I am. It's hard.
Yeah, like Davis and Sacramento was the first place that really felt like home to me. So to like leave that was really difficult. And like even when I saw like all of my friends at like a wedding last weekend, like I found myself just like I kept asking everyone like how they were doing, and I kept asking everyone if they were happy, and it just made me realize that I'm like very not happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I underestimated how difficult it would be to build social connections with people,
Mm-hmm.
because I was also talking about this in therapy on Friday, because I was like, when I first moved here, I was like negative energy because every minute thing took effort, because like you don't know where the grocery store is without Google Maps. I was talking to Anastasia about this before. Like you don't know where anything is. I like just riding the bus was super anxiety inducing because I wasn't used to public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Like figuring out a route for my dog so she wouldn't get like anxious by the loud noises and want to run home. Like just a bazillion things. Like everything that like is normal takes effort.
Yes.
So now that I finally have been here for a couple months, and like the normal everyday things feel more normal and everyday, except that I like can never find hot Cheetos anywhere, and that makes me angry. And the most Californian thing about me is that I ship hard kombucha to my house, and I will never not have pride in that. But like some things are adaptable and some things aren't. But like now that I finally like have those things, I'm just at zero energy, and like I'm not even like doing extra things because I'm definitely like an overcommitter to things. And like I'm like all I'm doing is my bare bones classes and research, and that's it. I'm not trying to be super involved. Like I know I don't have energy for that. In some ways, like maybe it would be helpful if I was like getting more socially connected, because I think that's something I'm really, really lacking. But I don't even have the energy to put into that for the payout.
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep trying to like pace out my work and then also have breaks. And I feel like no matter what I'm doing, I'm still getting really burnt out, even when I'm trying to balance it and juggle it. And I just still haven't found out a system that works for me yet.
I
Is
feel
there
that.
anything that motivates you, that gives you energy? Because you're back at baseline, but is there anything that like motivates you? And then
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to like motivate yourself when you just feel like shit. Um, it's really, really hard to even like do the things that you know help you when you just feel bad. We love mental health.
This sounds like
Mhm.
depression.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have anxiety and depression. Everyone, welcome to the club.
Me
Yep,
too.
Me too.
Yes, things we all have in common, you know. Oh yeah,
You're not
my,
alone,
my
Jessica.
oh no, I mean, let's be honest. My depression makes it impossible to get out of the bed, and last week it took me like 4 days to wash my hair. But like, you know,
Mhm. I've taken a
things-
shower in 2 days, guys. Like, I'm so glad that
You
we're
take
doing
showers?
this. I know when I'm going through the slump, when I'm like getting in the shower is just too much fucking effort, like
Yes.
way too much.
See, and even if I can get myself to the shower, I can't wash my hair because that takes
It's too much effort.
Yeah,
It's
See,
too hard. I don't want to lift my hands and move my body. I don't want to do it.
I've just accepted it. So my new saying in life has now been happiness is temporary, depression is forever.
Oh my
I'm choosing
God,
depression.
Thomas.
I was just talking to this. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and I was like, mental illness is just something that you always have. Like, it never goes away. Sometimes it's better than other times. Sometimes you learn to cope with it better. Like in my first years of undergrad, I had anxiety and panic attacks like multiple times a week, like every other day, kind of bad. And now it's maybe like a couple times a month. So like it gets better, but it's never great. And it's always there. But
do you think that everybody has it though, and we're just willing to talk about it because at the I that it's just part of being a human?
People faking it? Absolutely.
Okay, because
Or
I don't
they're
want to
better at
be like
hiding it.
exceptionalized, you know,
No.
or targeted, you know, because of issues that we're going. Because I personally think every person on the planet has this shit going on.
yeah, I think it's just different levels and different extents. Like I think we all get the big sad sometimes, but it just depends. Cycling back to what Thomas said, because I'd like to try to get things that are helpful rather than just say how they're terrible. Talk to people, even if your friends live in a different time zone. Like actually reach out and talk to people and ask them how they're doing and be honest about how you're doing, because you not being honest about how you're doing isn't helpful for anyone. And like people can really see through my bullshit like really fast, so I don't even try. But yeah, actually reach out to people even if it's really, really difficult. Go outside. Like it sounds really small, and even like obviously it's like pouring rain, don't go outside. Maybe don't unless that's like super your thing. But like really, like not everyone has a little doggo, but my like 20-30 minute walks with Nala are like so helpful to me, even when I like really don't want to fucking do it, but I'm like, I gotta do it for my dog, man.
Well, I was thinking about your private, your personal trainer, and I'm like, oh, I used to do private dance lessons, and I paid for a lot of them, and I had like 18 left, and they're expensive as shit. So equivalent to how much you're paying for your personal trainer. I gave all of those private lessons to my friend that I was living with because she's in the same dance community. But as you were talking, I was thinking, oh, I could do private dance lessons to kind of engage with something that I love to do that's physical, that moves my body.
Yeah.
And maybe that will help, because I feel I don't like the work I'm doing is not hard. It is more of like the social connection aspect that leaves us like it feels like it's been evacuated, like
yes,
there, you know.
that is the hardest part. Like grad school is hard. Like let's be honest again, like it's gonna be hard. Like it's completely foreign. I feel stupid all the time, and everyone
I feel stupid all the time.
Feel stupid all the time. But yeah, I would say tying it back to like things like physical well-being is really important. Like what if you like hate exercise, like just go for a walk. But like I think there's an exercise that fits everyone. So like me going to the gym like 4 times a week is like a huge thing. I definitely don't journal enough, and I should, because I never want to journal when I don't want to feel my feelings. Which is when you should. The struggles of life, man.
I'm laughing because it's true.
Also, like get something to take care of, even if it's like a plant. Yeah. Because you feeling like you're able to take care of something else helps you take care of yourself, whether it's a plant, a fish. I mean, I went from like accidentally murdering succulents to getting a dog. Wasn't really a lot of like in between steps there, but like it really, really makes a difference. And if you need your like furry fix, like maybe volunteer at an animal shelter.
Yes.
That's something like in the next semester, one of my goals is to try to get more involved with things, like maybe try volunteering somewhere, because I just know I just can't do that right now.
Nope.
And like even still, like there's like a not fun conversation that I have been not necessarily avoiding having, but just like knowing I don't have the mental capacity to have it. And that's one of those boundaries I have to set right now, because I'm like, I will do it later, but I just cannot do it right now because all of my mental and emotional energy is committed to things that I can't put on the back burner. And even then, I'm like already dropping shit. So,
Yes.
yeah. And just the biggest part of grad school is just like understanding like what shit you can drop sometimes, because like this last week I was like horrifyingly jet lagged and like could not focus in like one of my classes, and the professor was like really understanding that they're like, it's okay, like you're jet lagged and life happens. And like when I met with my like PI like that Monday, like my advisor was like, I didn't do a lot this last weekend, I was out of town and I was being a person. So just yeah, and like letting yourself like take a break, because like no, you're like, no, I have so much to get done, I have so much to get done. But like if you don't take the break, your quality of work's gonna be even shittier than it like was gonna be anyway. Like if you don't take the breaks, like it's really not gonna benefit you. Like your work's gonna be worse if you don't take the time.
I have to submit weekly in my Latin American Studies class. We have to submit just a very brief response to the readings.
Yeah.
And last week I was so tired, like just unbelievably not into it. I did the reading, but I did the response, and his note on there was a one-line sentence that says, engage with the readings. And I'm like, okay, like I'm doing it. He knows I'm doing it, but I was not capable of the analytical mind to be able to give a like 1.5 page thought on it. It's like, it's not even that I have to do this huge analysis, right? It's just like talking about it. I'm like, I'll have it to give, bro. I know that I have a brain and I know that I can think, but I cannot process information right now because I need to take a break is what I'm trying to say.
Take the breaks. A lot of grad students in my program, like when we had like our like orientation week with like a panel, they're like, have a day where you do no work. Like you need to have that. For me, what I've been trying to do is like, I usually go to bed around 11. So I try to have like my cutoff time for like doing productive work at like 9 p.m. Because then that's usually when I call my boyfriend. And then I also like have like at least an hour or two to like decompress. So it gives me like the decompress time. And then I'm trying really hard to make it have Saturday be my I don't do work day. But I'm still trying to balance out like not feeling like I'm overloaded during weekdays, so I like can't even make it to that break day. So figuring out the breaks is hard because like grad school is absolutely nothing like undergrad. Like it is
No, it's totally different.
Completely
Yeah.
different.
I was talking to Will. He's been checking in on me. He's actually coming with my friend Erica. They're both coming down on Saturday, which is really exciting. They're going to spend the night here. But he's like, grad school is different. He's told me that multiple times, but it's hard to articulate until you're in it. The differences, because it doesn't make any sense really. When you're an undergrad, you're just trying to graduate at that point. So this is not about graduation. This is like life, work, emotional, mental health balance. You do have to do somewhat in undergrad, no doubt. I find that the pressure here is just more. I feel a lot of internal pressure, and it might be just me, like we talked about.
I feel a lot of internal pressure too.
I don't think that that's just from us though.
No.
I think that there's some of it is, but I also think that the environment that we're in, it requires that.
I think the thing that's really hard for me too is like by the time I got to like the end of undergrad, I was like, I know the swing of this. Like I know the
Right.
drill. Grad
Yeah.
school, you're like, I'm at base 0. Like
Yes.
I do not know the drill. Like
I don't
I
know where
feel-
I don't know where the life support vests are. I don't
yeah,
know
you're
where.
like, fuck man, like I'm so tired. I probably like walked out of my house wearing like 2 different pairs of shoes, like on each, like one on each foot. Like that is the level of like mental distraught that you just experience. And like I look at like the undergrads now and I'm just like,
Oh,
you
when
don't
they
even
talk,
know.
I'm like, y'all don't even know. I have to take the public transportation too. I drive my car to the parking lot, and then the campus is big, so the bus will take you around. And there's so many undergrads and very few graduate students. And I'm also older than everybody still. So it's a very interesting experience to be sitting on the bus and listening to conversations. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I can barely get my ass out of bed to show up here, and y'all are worried about whatever you're worried about, but it is not the same.
Yeah. Oh yes. But yeah, I really underestimated the gravity of grad school because you just don't know till you're doing it. And it's like the
Yeah.
same thing with everything. Like high school doesn't prepare you for college, like undergrad
That's
doesn't prepare
true.
you for grad school, college
True.
doesn't prepare you for like actual real 40-hour a week 9 to
How
5
come they didn't
jobs.
tell us then, like, get your therapist on board, and maybe talk about nobody told us about how to kind of jettison our life and those parts of it. There was all academic, but
Yes.
nobody told us about how the impact of moving and trying to find your social work, your network, right? Like that wasn't even a topic of conversation in the
No.
entire year that we were in McNair.
Yeah.
Are we all first gen here?
Yes.
Uh-huh. There's your answer.
Yeah.
It's
We don't have the rich parents. Sorry.
It's disgusting. Yeah, I just making friends as an adult is hard, and I'm tired, man. I am
Yeah.
tired. And the worst,
Oh, go ahead, Jessica.
oh, I was just saying one thing that also sucks about grad school is like the majority of organizations at a university are undergrad focused.
Yes.
So it's like even if there's like a couple of grad school organizations, like you don't really have a lot of options if you don't vibe with them.
True.
So making friends is hard. Main takeaway.
I've been
Social
making
life.
friends at doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu and judo. Getting
Nice.
yourself
You
out there,
will?
highly recommended. I have, yeah. I've committed myself to trying to go under 5 a.m. sessions because one particular person, apparently he has a rivalry with me now.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, he's a blue
Is
belt.
it gentle, like, rivalry of, let's see how far we can push each other, or
Oh
like
no, we're gonna kill
he
each
doesn't
other.
like you?
Oh, it's a friendly. I'm gonna kill you. Like I'm gonna choke
Oh,
you out,
okay.
jujitsu style. Yeah, it's good.
I like
Very
that.
friendly.
Yeah, I finally got a submission on him, and then ever since then, I think he's a little salty. He's like, oh, dude, this guy's getting better. Can't let him outgrow me. So,
I'm really curious to know what your experience is going to be, Thomas, when you have all of this move for.
Oh, not applicable. I'm fucked up.
Well, then we're just going to have this conversation all over again because we're all fucked up. Me
Yeah.
To be
too.
honest, Austin and I provide guidance when we like maybe make friends. We'll learn. We'll learn.
Yes. Teach us your ways.
I'm the hermit that like just got screwed over by life, but we're making it work. We're the good and evil kind of person. I've come to realize. So
I believe that we all have both qualities. So we're all really good people, and we all have the potential to do really, 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 really painful things too. So
Yeah.
all of us. And on that happy ass note, it's 10, so I have to go.
Yeah, the time has come.
all right, everyone. We'll just close here then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week, y'all.